of opposition. But Right Honourable Speaker, following your guidance, I wrote to the COW of Luweero District so that I can submit with the facts on this issue, preferably on 4 sectors: health, education, roads and power. So for power I can submit next week when the minister brings the report. But for health, with the facts, Luweero Hospital does not have an ICU, and this hospital is serving over 600 people in the district. Still with the information furnished to me by the DHO through the COW, we do not have a sewage management system. Number 3, the hospital is understaffed. Actually, it is 38% staffed, and this leaves a very big gap to address the concerns of patients. Lastly, which is very embarrassing, Right Honourable Speaker, when power goes off, this hospital doesn't have a backup system. So when power goes off, they can only light candles. On the second issue, which is roads, the roads in Katikam North constituency are in very bad state. For now, I can use 2 roads to give an example. The road from Chigavu to Chibula, the road from Ngogoro to Kansiri. Right Honourable Speaker, these roads have been bad during a dry season. I don't know what's going to happen when the rains start coming. And I think government has to respond very fast and address this issue. Second last is on education. We have 2 sub-counties, the sub-county of Tuntumula and Rural sub-county. We do not have any secondary government school or even government aided. And this makes education very difficult to our people. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, and this is a very important issue, Luweero District, being the mother district that brought the NRM into power, we do not have a legacy project. I hear the government is constructing a Kiboa Stadium, Hoima Stadium, but in Luweero District we don't even have not only a stadium but even a market, because these markets are located to municipalities, and I think it should be in a consideration of government to at least give us a legacy project. Because we lost a lot during the liberation struggle. Thank you very much. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Now, honourable colleagues, from Honourable Sekabira's presentation, I've had a very good strategy. Writing to the COW, okay? And the COW gives you the status. The status of your district. How you are doing. It becomes much easier. Thank you for that, and I would urge colleagues to always cross-check with their cows. So Honourable Pachuto, Honourable Rogers Piamukama, Honourable Nakut Face, Honourable Robin Arakojo.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank our visionary President on updating the country on the state of the economy. Right Honourable Speaker, as a government, I think we have done a lot, but yet a lot more needs to be done. Right Honourable Speaker, we are grappling with the issue of the tax to GDP ratio. Many times we are complaining how our tax to GDP ratio is low, but one sure way that this country could increase that ratio is by adding value to our raw materials. I will give a case of Greater Navy. Right Honourable Speaker, in my district, Pakwach, the entire district is surrounded by the River Nile, where a lot of fish species are available, and if we concentrated by supporting the fishermen with good road networks, tarmac road networks like the Panyimur Pakwach Wadlai Road, and making available electricity in every sub-county, I think our exports would grow, because the electricity will help the fishermen have longer storage of preserving the fish. Secondly, in Greater Nebi we grow coffee, Arabic coffee in Zumbo. But the state of the road from Nebi up to Vura border post is not very, very good to attract an investor or even to encourage the farmers do much better or add value. And yet our president again and again is saying, to create wealth, we must add value. I therefore want to appeal that in this 5-year term, we concentrate on seeing that electricity, our road networks, support the envisaged growth and development that we would like to see in this country. On the issue of health, Right Honorable Speaker, Pakwach again lies in the lowland with the River Nile. Very many years ago, Right Honorable Ayume here knows, my Minister for Primary Health, that the Nile is not a very good source of water for consumption. And because of that, my people are vomiting blood because they suffer from bilharzia. Pakwach is located just at the gateway of West Nile. Whatever happens in the park.
Thank you. Honorable Rogers Biamukama.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Rogers Biamukama. I represent the people of Masindi Municipality. I rise in support of the motion to commend the President on the State of the Nation address, where he highlights human capital development, economic empowerment, electrification and skilling. However, in my constituency, some of these things are very alien. I have 2 divisions that don't have a secondary school. That is Kigulia Division and Karujubu Division. I have a whole division that does...
Do you ever have an idea so big it feels exhausting to even dream about? Like a goal so far away, you don't even know what the first step looks like. Maybe
that is being phased out. I therefore want to suggest and request through you, Right Honourable Speaker, that the ministry is concerned, education and health, to give affirmative action to this municipality. Secondly, we talk about economic empowerment, but our road infrastructure is almost dead. I would like to request the Minister of Works to give us a road from Masindi Miria connecting to Rwenkunye, such that the entire western Uganda, southwestern and western Uganda, can be connected to Lango sub-region and Teso sub-region. That will give economic improvement, market for our people, and improve movement across those 2 regions. And lastly, we talk about electricity for agriculture industrialization. In my municipality, villages surrounding the central business district do not have electricity, but you find electricity in many other rural areas. But in town, where we should be doing cottage industries, there is no electricity. Therefore, I suggest and request through you, Right Honourable Speaker, that the Minister of Energy should take care of our people in terms of energy, electricity, even to the existing government infrastructure, but also to give our people an opportunity to do value addition. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Faith Nakut.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I also join colleagues to appreciate His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for the communication he gave to the nation during the State of the Nation address. In that communication, he communicated content that was similar to the one he communicated at his swearing-in ceremony. It means that that communication is not just for a year, but is for a term. It is his vision for this term of office. I will quote 2 statements which are critical for us. One, he said, "No more withholding your hope when others are cultivating." 2, he said, "No more diverting us from the things that are important." These statements mean that the country should move as one and in one direction. on the matter of the participation of Ugandans in their economy. He emphasized it in both speeches. It is on us as leaders and also the people of Uganda that we examine our level of participation in our national economy. A few weeks ago, when the international bodies began to rank countries that had shifted to middle income status, Ugandans were disappointed when our neighbors were being ranked high, even though our economy is said to be growing very fast. Do you know why? Because of this thing which the president said that Ugandans should be actively participating in their economy. The investment by foreign investors alone or by Ugandans who go abroad and bring their money is not adequate to bring us to the kind of life that we want of wealthy people. So there is a job to be done in this term of office, according to how I understood the communication from the president. I believe that the sector ministries will align themselves with that vision. The president already gave his vision. I also believe that this parliament will align itself with that vision so that we contribute, not diverting, but contribute to the cause of making Ugandans wealthy as a whole. I was happy when this House passed a loan for irrigation. That is part of contribution towards the cause of increasing productivity and reducing the shocks that...
Thank you. Honorable Wokuri Geoffrey, Honorable Robina Rakojo, Engineer Zadok, and then Maseruka and Ayagarachi Jama.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Colleagues,
Allow me for the first time to also join in the voices of those who congratulated you upon your elevation. I rise in support of the motion regarding presidential address on the 4th of June. What I realize is that at this level, the President of Uganda wishes to see every Ugandan having some income in their pocket, more so by emphasizing economic transformation. And what touched me was his pledge to supply free coffee seedlings in Uganda, and emphasizing commercial farming. But Right Honorable Speaker, through you, I wanted to interest the agriculture sector in the issue of food security. Right Honorable Speaker, outside there, the public has mixed perception in relation to commercial agriculture. They assume everything produced must be sold. And the people are harvesting, are selling agricultural output in the garden before even harvest. As leaders, colleagues, we need to explain, we need to ensure food security in our constituents, because by September, as I talk now, people are struggling to have 1 meal a day outside there, up country. Right Honorable Speaker, what also caught my ear during the presidential address was the presidential pledge to continue supporting schools, that is universal primary education and universal secondary education. However, Right Honorable Speaker, we are experiencing challenges in our areas of jurisdiction. Some of the faith-founded schools, secondary schools, had a meeting in the State House, and I believe the Minister of Education was participated, where they agreed that...
Thank you. Honorable Robina Rakojo, then Engineer Zadok. then Honorable Maseruka, and Honorable Yagarachi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I would like to congratulate you. I've spoken before, but I hadn't said it, but I genuinely congratulate you upon your reappointment. I want to support the motion for a resolution of Parliament to express gratitude to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for the clear and precise exposition of government policy contained in the State of the Nation address to Parliament that was given on the 4th of June. In my constituency, we have part of the national herd, which really is contained in the cattle corridor and in other areas. We are threatened by foot and mouth disease. I have time and again pleaded that the cost of the vaccine should be reduced so that people are encouraged to vaccinate their cows. If anything, actually, if it were reduced, there should be a forced exercise of everybody doing it, because right now, only those who can afford do it, and then those who can't afford don't do it, and there's no use in, you'll find the cows will still get sick. You need to eliminate it as a whole. So that's what I would request for. However, we also need water, and I pray that we get excavators in that area so that we can dig more valley dams. I pray that we get water bowsers so that we can have water got from the existing dams and taken to people's dams. And I hope that the vaccine, the anti-tick vaccine, the exercise can be spread. I also I want to thank the President for the agro-industrialization venture in Chisozi, the beef and beans factory. We will still need these cows there. So if these measures I've talked about can be put in place, it will help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Robin, I just wanted us to be together, especially on the issue of FMD vaccine. Do you remember in the last parliament how we debated this issue so much? And that time, the challenge, Honorable Minister, was that there was no sufficient supply. Government didn't have money to buy enough. Then we proposed here in the House. We said, no, you have people who can afford. People have their cows, they can afford, but government, you're saying, no, you cannot buy it yourself. It has to be government controlled. So we agreed with the I remember it was a long debate here. I chaired that debate. And we said, government should contribute, we also contribute. So now I don't know how we are going to handle the issue of those who are not able to afford at all, okay? Or those who are constrained, because you see, you can have a product, but you're constrained. In economics, what we call constrained demand. You're constrained by the price. Yeah? So I don't know, Honorable Robin, the challenge you're facing, and how we can handle that.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. There are people who can afford, although it's a strain on them. But honestly, there are those who can't. Because, you know, you're buying your own vaccines, you're buying your own acaricide and all that, and many times people find fake products on the market. So you find that there's a lot that gets out in terms of what you put in. People are now also feeding their cows because they come up with silage, with hay and all that. So not all farmers are at par. There are some who are better off than others and could afford, but many of them cannot. Okay. And so it's uneven. Okay. Thank you.
I will propose for the Minister of Agriculture to meet with MPs from the cattle corridor. Even as Wachigo, of course, we have cows, but you find I have one. And Honorable Kafuz has 1,000. So Kafuz will represent me in covering 1,000. Honorable Doug and people who own, you know. I think, Honorable Minister, you do it that way. You meet with the cattle corridor MPs. You look at their unique issues, in relation especially to the issue of FMD, and you know, sending to just committees. I've said cattle corridor, if you have cows, you will be known. Otherwise, even Bachiga have cows. Honourable Minister, you wanted to say? Honorable Pachuto, you have fish on your side. I came over. You only brought me issues of fishing. You never brought issues of cows. Maybe let's listen to Honorable Pachuto.
Thank you, Right Honorable
Honorable Minister, just a minute. Honorable Pachuto.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you that you've taken up this matter and you're asking the minister to address it. But I think limiting it to the MPs from cattle corridors only is not very much welcome. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, the President is encouraging us to go into money economy. The Ministry of Agriculture is not just about crop production. It's about animal production. It's about fisheries. The government over the years has been supplying seeds. It has been giving Ugandans horse. So let them also support the people in animal production and fisheries as well.
Pachuto, don't divert me. You were here when we had this debate. You see, when FMD comes, they don't allow movement of cattle anywhere. You will find you will not have any beef in this country. You will start importing from Brazil. You will have no milk. You will have a crisis. Okay? I don't know any disease that can support, that can stop sale of fish. I've not had one that, you know. So what I'm talking about is, it's a very unique situation. But that has not stopped us from having interventions for other areas. We've been here. We've been very fair. And this catches Karamoja, it goes Peso. It's only the Wachiga who are disenfranchised in this area, but the rest seem to be having. So Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I take in what the Honorable from Gomba has just raised, but we came to this floor and we agreed at that time when we were really faced with this challenge of foot and mouth disease, and the entire House agreed that we should do what we call cost sharing. And this is what Cabinet advised, and for heaven's sake, most of these farmers have been complaining that we've not maybe sensitized them, because the cost sharing, a farmer is supposed to pay only 8,000 per dose, and that is 20% of the cost per cow. You pay 8,000 and 80% of the cost is handled by government. Though we are trying also to talk to the same factory where we bought those doses from, we've been requesting them to come to Uganda and set up a factory, and so far the progress is not bad. So Honorable Robina, we shall engage you and also maybe come down and sensitize most of these farmers. I come from the cattle corridor myself, and most of those farmers are really able to pay the 8,000. The issue is only sensitization. Thank you, we shall come down, and government has already made another position that most of the interventions we shall be doing cost sharing. And I think we need to prepare our masses that cost sharing is now the way to go in most of these interventions. Even the seedlings, I heard someone talking about that. We came here and agreed that money, we should stop giving out free seedlings and we go into PDM. So all the money that we used to get all these planting materials, we decided now to take the money to PDM. And I'm happy His Excellency the President has also increased the PDM money from 100 to 200. So members, we need to sensitize our masses and update them on most of these government interventions. Thank you.
No, but Honorable Desire, on issues where you're denying us money, you give us information. On those where we wanted money, you said I can't give any. But that, thank you. You see, we are people's representatives. We keep gathering new views and sharing with you. So let's work together. I'm sure we shall have to find a way out of this. Thank you. Engineer Zadok. And then Honorable Maseruka. Now, Honourable Ministers, I will request you and I want to thank those who are here. But Right Honourable Leader of Government Business, yes, if possible, if there are ministers who can also join, because what we've been doing, members raise pertinent issues. So before we close every session, we usually give ministers who are here a chance to respond to issues. For example, Honourable Sekabira raised critical issues on health. I hope Honourable Yume, I've had issues of education. You know, Minister of Finance, for your general, we need money. That's what we need from you mostly. So I request you be patient here. At the end, I'll give you a chance. You respond to some of the issues that are to do with your sectors. Thank you. Yes, Engineer Zadok.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mutekanga Zadok is my name, and I'm a member of Parliament for Uweju County. I attended SONA for the first time as a member of Parliament, and I was impressed by a number of issues raised by the President, and one of them was the mobilization skills he used to mobilize his people from nomadism to the money economy. And that one made me recall of a few people from my area, Karung Sub-County, who managed and mobilized and built a school using poles and mud. And later that school was taken up by the government as a seed school, and nothing has been added on. It is just a seed school.
As a seed school or a government-aided school?
A seed school.
Seed school.
It started as a private, and it ended up in the government as a seed school.
No,
but it has never been built into the status of.
Just let me make it very easy for you. A seed school, the government plants a seed, meaning there was nothing. Okay? So those are government-aided schools. So seed school will give you a new school, and the budget passes here, and the project is, everything is always here. Okay? So it should be government-aided, but you can cross-check tomorrow, and please you get back. But our record, I'm just giving this for the record. But nevertheless, they should be helped and supported since it's a government school. You can go on, you still have your...
Yes, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Because as I speak, those poles and the mud are falling on students, and the government has done nothing much on helping those students. Secondly, Uweju is one of the districts in training and feeding and so on. Uweju is one of the districts with a number of tourism sites. Uweju is one of the districts with gold mines, but Uweju is one of the districts that has never had a chance of seeing a Tamaka road. Uweju is one of the districts that electricity covers around 20%, 80% is in darkness, and some of us, even we saw electricity after coming this side, so we need really a help for those people to see electricity. And lastly, it is also unfortunate that the people of Uweju in most areas, they are not covered by network. And when we talk of the money economy, in most cases here, things are done by internet and so on. But without network, I don't think that we can do much. So our prayer is that we can be helped with good roads, network, and schools, so that we can also move with the rest of the country. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Maseruka Robert, followed by Honorable Yagarachi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would love to also make a comment. For purposes of record, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm the Shadow Minister for Youth and Children Affairs. I would love to respond on the State of the National Address, specifically focusing on the glaring structural omissions regarding the primary stakeholders of this country, who are the youth. Mr. Speaker, the President declared a definitive mantra of no more sleep. Rightfully condemned the cancer of corruption, yet when it comes to the youth, the prescriptions are unclear. Right, Honorable Speaker, the biggest percentage of this country are youth, covering over 75%. But 51% of the youths of this country are under a format called the NEET. They are not employed, not educated, and not trained. And we feel the President needed to comment of if we are to compete globally and internationally, how are we going to help the youth rather than giving them political cushions, getting those that are in the ghettos and giving them some little money here and there, and musicians. Right, Honorable Speaker, we feel as youths of this country that the President never mentioned anything relating to us. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, if we are to have no more sleep, this government must wake up to the structural crises facing the youth. We do not just need administrative funds injected into localized political structures. For example, the Myoga, Muvubuka, Werwaneko, and so on. We need aggressive policies for youth land leasing frameworks. Our youth do not want tokenism and scrums. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm passionate about speaking about the President's speech because I have this one of the sub-counties that are in Kampala Metropolitan. Since the creation of Adam and Eve, people are lucky here, they have been seeing poles, they have never seen light. There is no electricity. We have our people in Ikome.
Colleagues, I think if we could follow protocol, the President deserves another minute. He is not at your level. He should speak for 4 minutes. Another minute for the President.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We have islands of Kome and Damba. Right Honorable Speaker, the situation at those islands, the military and how they are treated, when people are taking their land, they needed to hear hope from the President. They needed to hear words of encouragement because their land is being taken. They can no longer fish. The background to which we stand here, we feel the President needed to communicate to these hearts. Students can no longer have prep time, as you know, because they are studying from Mpunge. There is no light. The economy closes at 6 p.m. in the evening. Something needs to be done. We stand here, Right Honorable Speaker, and call upon the President to take care about the youths and also make sure we take this country, inject what is required as far as service delivery is concerned. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yeah, but colleagues, sometimes I'm stuck. A president is calling upon another president. So I think some of the issues are presidential. They'll be handled at your level. Honorable Agarachi, then Honorable Alobo Joan. Colleagues, I'm picking some few members also from the opposition because I have to balance. I'm on opposition side, then I do independent. So.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the matters of records, I am Ayagalachi Jamal. I'm the Shadow Minister, Water and Environment. Honorable Speaker, I also associate my presentation, the presentation of the Leader of the Opposition. I acknowledge the President's continued emphasis on wetland protection and his directive to authorities to enforce laws against wetland encroachment and restore degraded ecosystem. However, Right Honorable Speaker, while enforcement is necessary, it must be accompanied by proper planning, community engagement, and sustainable alternative for affected people whose livelihood depend on these resources. Right Honorable Speaker, while government has a constitutional duty under Article 237, Clause 2B, to protect wetlands and natural resources, this responsibility must also respect citizens' rights and livelihood as provided under Article 26 of the Constitution. Right Honorable Speaker, wetland protection should not only focus on eviction and enforcement, but also on awareness, restoration, proper management, and supporting communities in transition onto sustainable livelihoods. And I therefore call upon government to strengthen climate adoption through irrigation, disaster preparedness, and climate smart agriculture. I also ensure government should ensure environmental laws are applied fairly, transparently, but what Honorable Speaker, what we are witnessing right now in the wetlands is not environmental protection. It is cruelty. You find a mother's mother water house is demolished in 24 hours, right Honorable Speaker. And our family becomes homeless. Yet in the same wetland, you find Starbucks station remain with government protection and consent. Right Honorable Speaker, protecting our environment must go hand in hand with protecting our people. Conservation will succeed when citizens are treated as partners in safeguarding our natural resources. Right.
You are not a president. Honorable
Speaker,
Susan Arobo, please, you're not, you know, maybe Ono Maseruka can take you through the hurdles of becoming a president.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to appreciate the President for his state of address, the nation address, but I also want to bring on an issue that the President did not really give us hope as a country because of the many failed promises, and that has been mentioned for the last 10, 15 years, same things. But particularly on the issue of health, the President spoke passionately about the regional referral hospitals, and in terms of equipping them and ensuring that their infrastructure is purely fine. Now that the Minister of Health is here today, Right Honorable Speaker, we have raised the issue of Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, where we do not have a theater that is functioning. We do not have infrastructure for the male and the female. They are sharing one ward. There is no ward for the casualties. There is completely nothing in Soroti Regional Referral Hospital. It's more of a mortuary than a hospital. I would request that you as the Speaker request or order the Minister of Health to come with a comprehensive report of how they are planning to refurbish or rehabilitate Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, since they had said JICA had accepted to put a whole new face for Soroti Regional Referral Hospital. There is a lot missing. Right Honorable Speaker, the President also spoke passionately about boosting the economy of this country. But when we look at the boosting issue, the boosting bit of it, we look at industrialization as one of the boosters which can solve many issues like unemployment and many others. Soroti City has a full industrial park which is fully occupied, but there is no industry. Can we take it up and take into action that, so we get into Soroti and find out who is occupying this land at the industrial park, and yet there is no industry being put, there's no investor that is showing up like coming to build any other industry. Right Honorable Speaker, Soroti City is one of the cities in this country that should be boosted. As a physical planner, I feel the President and government needs to put priority on these 10 cities that were created in order to boost our economy. This will even help our country and Kampala city to be decongested if we ensure that these other 10 cities work very hard to ensure that many other activities take place.
Thank you. Nangor Umar, Honorable Nangor Umar. independence. Yes, I will request. Let me just request, Honorable Kumi Christine, you get for me a list of the independents so that it helps me to balance very well. Because I have 6 who spoke from NRM. Listen, colleagues, listen. 6 NRM spoke.